What's up, everybody? What's up? It's your girl, LaRhonda Marie, and this is Under Construction with LaRhonda Marie. I hope everybody is having a great day today. I'm excited about this interview. As always, I'm always excited, but I'm definitely excited when I can get some relationship advice. And so, my today's guest is a relationship therapist, and so we will be speaking with him pretty soon. But of course, you know me, I'm gonna have to take care of some housekeeping items before I do. Let me go ahead and just do the intro. I don't know what I was thinking. I'll be right back. Yeah. It's LaRhonda Marie. He chose me. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining the broadcast. Today, we'll be talking about relationships. I have quite a few questions for my guests, but of course, you guys, if you have some questions, make sure you put that in the comments, and I'll be sure to get to those questions. As always, I do have housekeeping items to do, so during this broadcast, you can support my page as well as Swag Her page by sending stars a digital gift that helps earn money. We use the stars to hire more journalists and content creators while supporting Black-owned businesses, hoping to create an ecosystem that brings about success for all involved. If you find value in the content, send your stars today and tell a friend about the page. So if you are getting on board, go ahead and share and let everybody know that you are a part of the broadcast today. Again, I am going to be bringing my special guest on in just a moment. One more commercial, and then I'll be bringing them on. Just one moment.
Swag Her magazine is an empowerment and lifestyle publication for Black women who like to be real with themselves and in business. The magazine also offers public relations services and visibility coaching for Black women-led businesses, coaches, authors, and girl bosses so that they receive more exposure and grow their brands. To learn more about Swag Her magazine, please visit www.swagher.net. That's www.swagher.net. Check our swag. We're more than a mag.
All right, guys. So if you're in need of any services from Swag Her, that definitely jog on over to their page. You can definitely check their packages that they have if you need to increase your visibility. If you need some marketing advice, they definitely can help you with that. Increase your visibility, get your product out there, tell you how to just market yourself so that you can reach more people and make your platforms even bigger. All right. So I got that out the way. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my guest on because you know what, guys, I didn't know he lived in Nigeria. And so he lives in Nigeria. And so it is like 2 or 3 in the morning there for him. So I appreciate him coming. Go ahead and put thumbs up if you are ready for me to bring you on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Well, I got you on. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. Nice to be part of the show. Okay, my name is Adeyemi Adebanji. Okay, I'm in Nigeria. I'm a relationship therapist. I've been practicing for more than 6 years now. Okay, so I have masters in psychology and business administration. Okay, so yeah, I'm 41 years old. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right. I know I caught a couple of your things on Instagram. That's how I found you. And so they must have pulled on me because anytime something pulls on me, I'm like, okay, let me see if I can get them on the show. So And in February, of course, is Valentine's Day in America. I don't know what's going on in Nigeria, but for us, it's Valentine's Day is coming, and so I like to kind of focus my shows in the month of February on relationships. And so that's why I am so happy for you to be a part of the program today. So welcome and thank you so much, and thank you so much for your commitment because I know it's early, and so I'm gonna make it quick so you can get on the bed.
Yeah.
All right. And so I had some questions that had come in, and so that's the things that I had sent you. Um, People want to know, is marriage a thing of the past?
Okay. Yeah, I won't say marriage is a sin of the past. Okay, all right. I understand that the culture in Nigeria is different from the culture in America, but generally, marriage is not a sin of the past. Is just that it has evolved, right? Just
Right.
like every part of the society has evolved, civilization has evolved. Technology, social media, internet. So yeah, so marriage is not a thing of the past, but it has evolved. The concept of marriage.
Right. Like, so when you say the concept of marriage has evolved, do you mean like people don't view marriage the same as maybe in the past? We're a little bit more open, or what do you mean by?
Yeah, like okay, so I'm trying to have an open communication, like a brother, like the communication I want it to be as broad as possible. Okay, so I think we shouldn't compare marriage now and marriage the way marriage was in the past because, like I said, it has evolved. Yeah. So if we want to compare it to the past, at what point in the past? 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40, or we are just saying the past?
Right.
Like,
I get.
so, so that's why, like, it's difficult to say we are comparing which past. Like, marriage is the same. Marriage in the past is the same as marriage now. Okay, so yeah, so is marriage is marriage, but we cannot compare marriage now with the way it was in the past. You understand? Just like we cannot compare the way we live now with the way they lived in the past. The
Right.
society now is different from the society in the past.
Right. Why do you think more people rather be in long-term relationships than marriage?
Come again?
Why do you think people would want to be in more in long-term relationships, but not necessarily the commit be married?
Okay, like they want to be in a relationship, but not they don't want to call it marriage, right?
Right.
Yeah, because like okay, so the way I look at it is the way I want to talk about it is like I said, marriage has evolved, but the in this part of the world, marriage is more like a cultural thing. Yeah. So um, we, we've not really, we've not had this conversation. No, people are not really talking about the way the marriage has evolved, right?
Mhm.
So now nobody wants to talk about it. The culture is not, we're not ready to adjust the culture, or the culture is not ready to evolve,
Right.
correspondingly. So and then we cannot be left hanging. So we are living the culture. We are trying to take care of ourselves. If the culture does not want to have this conversation, if the culture does not want to recognize that marriage in this present time is different totally from the past, then people try to find their own solution, right? But
Hmm.
okay, we'll be together, but we'll not call it marriage because once we introduce the concept of marriage, people start comparing with the past and they expect it to be like the past. So, and that way we are struggling.
Right.
So we are together, we are doing everything we should do in a marriage, but we are not just calling it marriage because it introduces a lot of confusion.
Confusion.
That's
Yeah.
how I like.
I'm not gonna ask this question. Hold up. Do you think social media makes it harder or more difficult in relationships? So, and where I'm coming from with that, like when you are with a client, or if you're with a married couple, or I'm not sure how the setup is, but a committed couple has coming together. Does social media play a big part in some of the issues that they may have?
Yes, yes, 100%. Like not, but like the social media has introduced a new concept, a new dimension to it. So it depends on how you look at it. Yeah, it complicates the whole concept of marriage. Like I was telling you about the cultural thing. In the past, maybe there was no social media. The training, the expectation from marriage uh, was existed without social media. The training, nobody teaches or nobody taught us how to handle the social media,
Mm-hmm.
into like concept, because it didn't exist that time. So with
Right.
the introduction of social media and technology, we are teaching ourselves.
Themselves. Yeah, I see what
Oh,
you're
how do you
saying.
manage, what are the etiquette, the social media etiquette? Like maybe in the past, like the ladies, they have a way of maybe not being direct or being indirect. Like we call it green light here, like something to encourage the guy to come up, walk up to me, and make the move. But in social media, how do you do this, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
have to learn how to interact and encourage the other guy to, like, I'm open, come on, let's. And then another dimension is that uh, how do you handle suddenly, maybe in the past, the interaction, maybe some people that got married like 20, 30 years ago, maybe they had interaction with just few people.
Mm-hmm.
But now suddenly with social media, you have billions to choose from. Yeah, you're confused.
Right.
Yeah, so how do you filter that, right? And
Right.
then another dimension is the communication part. So how do you handle the communication? How do you know who is sincere, who is genuine? How do you build trust?
Right.
Like then we compare, you get into this, and then there are so many people you are interacting with. You get this, you get disappointed. uh, Directly, it goes to your memory. You use that to shape your interaction with the next guy you meet online or the next one. Like so. Yeah. So social media has introduced some complexity.
Mm-hmm.
That we need to recognize, acknowledge that okay, this complexity is there, but how do you walk through this complexity? So in a way, if you're able to walk through this complexity, it might also be a blessing. Not necessarily. So it comes with its advantages and disadvantages. If we can walk through it
Right.
with proper communication, I think it can be a blessing.
I think that's what it is. I think it's communication, definitely. Now I have a couple of girlfriends that they have issues with their men, like scrolling, just scrolling, and because it just seems like their attention is more on that than maybe them in that moment. And so I think that's what those are the type of things that can happen in a relationship where someone is that's their pure entertainment for them, but on the other end, someone is being jealous over something. They just are being just it's just pure entertainment. And so again, I think communication and respecting um, your partner's thoughts on it, like always be conscious of how your partner feels about it. If wouldn't you suggest they be that they think about their partner's feelings when it comes to their interaction on social media?
Yeah, like of course, like in every relationship, whether current or past, respect is always been there. You know, respect, trust, open communication, it has always been there. So, and they are still there, they are still very necessary. And I don't think that we've lost this. I don't think in the current relationship we're keeping now, I don't think trust is lost. I don't think respect is lost. Like I said, we are just overwhelmed. We are
Mm.
overwhelmed. You go into a relationship, you show the respect based on what you've learned, you trust, and then people keep dashing your trust, breaking your
Right.
trust, disrespecting you. You trust them, they disrespect you, and then Then we go into the next one, then we generalize like, oh, no, 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 I have to change. People just think that, okay, I've been respectful in my previous, I've been so trusting in my previous, and it didn't work. So I should just change,
I should change. Yeah.
I should just change. Like we see, like
Yeah.
zero
Yeah.
and one. I've been doing like binary, and
Mhm.
relationship is not binary. So if I've been doing zero and it didn't work, then let me do one. If I've been,
Right.
you understand what I'm saying? If I've been
Right.
going left, let me just, and it didn't work, let me just go right. It's it's not.
I think a lot of people, we're trying to be happy, but and I totally agree with you. A lot of times we move to another relationship and then we bring all of the issues we had from that previous one, the
Yeah.
distrust, because we distrust, Craig. Now we're gonna distrust Joe, and so, or and vice versa. It's I think that we all need to take that time to kind of step back after a relationship and evaluate yourself, not necessarily that previous partner, but definitely yourself and why you reacted the way you did, or um, the issues that you had. A lot of times people just we say here in America, a lot of times the best way to get over a man is get up under another one. And so with that being in our heads, we are bringing in a lot of um, unhealed emotions into a whole nother relationship.
Yeah, so this is the where like psychology will come into it now. Like, when people do this, we don't do this consciously, right?
Hmm.
So that's why it's difficult to, for example, if I've been heartbroken, I've been in a relationship and I've been heartbroken, being very nice, being very respectful, and I end up being heartbroken,
Hmm.
and I'm trying to go into another, and I'm trying to protect my heart, protect my emotion, and somebody is saying, no, do it the way you did it before. Like, you want me to get heartbroken again? Like, it's unconscious, So, and then most of the time we don't say this. I cannot get heartbroken. I have to do it differently,
Right,
So it's difficult for, like, the intervention becomes difficult because you don't blame anybody for trying to protect their emotion,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and that's why we're having this podcast is very important. Like, okay, so when in protecting your emotion, you don't have to go directly opposite. It's not like white and black situation.
Right.
So it's not like, okay, respect is not like discreet, and
Hmm.
then it's not so. But it's very important. So even when you're trying to protect yourself, you shouldn't be disrespectful. You shouldn't show negative energy. You shouldn't
Right.
give negative emotion, even though yes, it's valid. You need to protect your emotion, but you don't do that by showing negativity in the next relationship. You can still protect your emotion by still being positive.
That's right. That's good today. That's and actually you can use that with any relationship, like you said, not just um a romantic relationship, just personal relationships with friends and just everybody respecting everybody's way of thinking, because everybody don't do things the same, and don't always think the same. And everybody wasn't raised the same. And like right now, we have two different cultures that we grew up in. So, what you may think is normal, I would probably be like, oh my God, and vice versa. But um I do at the core, in the core of me, I think that marriage should be something that everybody that's in a committed relationship should be trying to. That should be the goal. It shouldn't be just let's just live together forever. How it's influential. Let me see. Let me see. Do you feel like men's expectations of women have changed over the years?
Okay, what about women's expectation of men? Okay, so let me. Okay, so yeah,
I think I see
okay,
it.
like I'll look at it. I want to approach it this way. Expectation, like expectation has not changed. Like, like from the expectation is constant, but now what has changed or what has evolved will be the content of that expectation.
That's good.
The content, like expectation is there's a content.
Right.
So the container, expectation container is the same, especially when people want to get married. It has not changed. The requirement, the motive to go into marriage has not changed. But the content, how, for
How?
example, like respect, the way respect is a concept, the way respect is shown in America is different from the way respect is shown in Africa. But respect is still respect. Like in
Right.
Africa, in some part of Africa, when you want to show respect, baby will prostrate, right? In
Hmm.
America, you just do an handshake.
Right. Gotcha.
That's respect, but the way it is shown is different. So it can be different. The content can be different, but the goal is still the same. And I
Right.
think this is where conversation needs to happen more to enlighten people, right? So what are the
Mhm.
basic expectations in marriage? We want commitment, we want loyalty. You understand? That has not changed, right?
Right. Right. That's true.
It's right, commitment, loyalty, somebody that's got my back, somebody that is dependable, somebody that is maybe family, want to set up a family together, want to train
Right.
kids. So those
That
are
hasn't changed.
genuine
Right.
valid expectations. But now, so how do we go about that? Considering the fact that there are so many distractions,
That's good.
right? So,
Hmm.
like, and then considering culture fusion, right?
Right.
Now you see people getting to interact with people all over the world, different culture,
Right.
so different ways of expressing respect that we have to learn. So people want, no, you learn my own, mine is superior. You have to change to my own, right? Yeah, but it
Right.
takes time. This agreement, this conversation needs to happen, and then we should give room for adjustment, right?
What does that look like? What I mean, what do you suggest we do within ourselves to just if we're out there? Because I personally I'm single, and so I'm wanting a committed relationship. So and so my expectations have not been the best when it comes because of what, like you said, the past, what has happened in the past. So you kind of just give up, kind of, sort of, and hope maybe. But my question is how do we have these conversations that we need that are necessary in the relationships to make the relationships work? How do we have those? How do we have those conversations?
Okay, so yeah, so as there's no template, yeah, there is no template, there's no particular way that there's no formula. Like
Mhm.
this is the formula to go about this thing, yeah. But like I said earlier, open communication, transparency, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You broke back up.
Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I think it's
Hello.
frozen.
Yeah, it's frozen a little bit, but I can still hear you, but you're
Okay,
frozen.
okay. So number one,
Oh no, I can't hear you.
what are the typical expectation, like, okay, for people that have had heartbreak before, like what are the typical issues that cause heartbreak, right? Is it based on like expectations are not being met, you know so
It would be based on yeah, pretty much expectations that
it's
are
still
not met.
frozen?
You can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. You're good. Can you still hear me? Oh, guys, bear with us just a moment. Uh, again, Ade is in Nigeria, so I'm so happy that he has been able to join. And so let me see if we can get him back on. I had a couple of more questions. All right, guys. And so if you've been enjoying it so far, go ahead and put that in the comments and let me know if you have any questions. Again, if you are in need of branding, definitely check out Swag Her Magazine. They are definitely a great place to get your platform more visibility, and help you with growing your business. I'm gonna stay and see if he can. Let me see if I can message him really quick. Let me see. Like I said, he's he's in Nigeria. So let me see if I can get him real quick. But if not, this has been a great start to our relationships. You able? Hold on. Let me see if we're going to be able to, but this has been a great start beginning to my relationship discussions this month. I have a couple of other people coming before the end of the month to discuss relationships, and the day has been, is it from my end? Yours. Okay, so he's trying to get logs back in. And so let me see if he can get back on. But at any rate, for the next couple of shows, we'll be discussing relationships. And so definitely just tune in Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. Let me see if he is going to be able to, Ade is going to be able to get back on. He has been awesome. But yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead and just put that in the comments and I'll be happy to get to those. I have a couple more of my own if we can get him back on. All right. I'm not sure. I'm just waiting on him to speak. But at any rate, guys, if you have plans for Valentine's Day, go ahead and put that in the comments. Let me see, get some suggestions. What are y'all buying y'all men for Valentine's Day? Don't forget about buying something for the men. I hear so much about women forgetting the men. Anytime I'm in a relationship, my man could never say that. I feel like Valentine's Day is for both lovers. So, ladies, make sure you take care of that man from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. And fellas, you do the same. Valentine's Day comes the same day every month. So, get on it. You got about a week. So make sure you take care of your loved ones. Daddies, make sure you buy your daughters some teddy bears or something. Buy your daughters stuff. Make sure you don't forget your daughters on Valentine's Day, daddies. How you treat your daughter and what she expects will let you know what she's going to expect from a man. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and get her trained right. Make sure you cherish your daughter on Valentine's Day. Definitely what I appreciated about the father, my girl's father. All right. Well, I don't think he's going to be able to get back on. So, guys, this looks like it is going to be the show for the week. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but a day was awesome. I didn't have any problems. I thought I was going to, I knew he was from Nigeria, but I did not know he lived in Nigeria. That's my fault. But he did stay up till 2 a.m. to be a part of this broadcast. And I cannot thank you enough a day. So if you're listening, I will reach out to you after the show, definitely. But guys, tune in next week at the same time, 7 p.m. Central Time. Under Construction with LaRhonda Marie will be back, and we'll be discussing relationships. All right. You guys have a blessed week. I'm just gonna stay on. It's gonna bother me if I don't let it be 30 minutes even. So, all right, y'all have a blessed week. Bye.